Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy, Kingdom Soldier, and I'm back again with another commentary. And Soldier says, if you missed the toilet seat and you know you peed on the floor, don't act like you didn't see it. Clean it up. What I want to talk to you guys about today is an article that just came out today on Vice. And I have a guest actually with me. Hitch, you want to say hello?
What's up, guys? It's Hitch here. I don't know. You
I
destroyed
don't.
that intro, so that's gonna be mine, I guess.
I don't think Hitch expected that intro there. So Julia Hardy wrote an article today titled "Call of Duty remains the esport that says no women allowed." Basically, in my opinion, the premise of her article was to make the point that there's some misconceptions about women in gaming in general that other well, I guess in Call of Duty in general, Call of Duty
Right.
Esports, where other esports don't have the same issue allowing women to be a part of teams, to play in tournaments, to play in events. Of course, there have been female teams at Call of Duty tournaments, but we've never seen one on a pro team or in prominence or like on Envy or Optic or anything like that. And what she says is that the image that women have when they attend Call of Duty tournaments, even if they're there to play, is that they're e-girls. They're just there to mess around with all the guys and try to get more Twitter followers. And I just kind of wanted to bring Hitch into the fray for this. Soldier says, and ask him, what was your initial, what was your initial response to the article, or what do you think the article
I was
was
just
trying to say?
confused. Like out of I've like kind of been involved with other esports as far as like working in them and also like keeping up to date with them and
Yeah,
Call of Duty is not a not an esport that purposefully leaves out girls and treats them bad just because they play the game. I mean, yeah, there's jokes on Twitter, there's people that flame girls and stuff like that for trying to play, but like at the end of the day, it's not like you're not actually like out there. Like the majority of the community, especially like the icons in the community, aren't trying to bash these girls. Whereas
yeah,
in
I agree.
esports such as like Super Smash Brothers, it's been an ongoing, you know, problem for them. That there's been every time a girl tries to play, basically they are not allowed to even, like they're not taken seriously whatsoever. And we actually have
Yeah,
girls in our community that are respected and known as
yeah,
really good players. So it's just I was
yeah,
very confused.
I
Like
agree.
why I just don't know why she's feels the need to attack Call of Duty in this aspect.
There is a point in the article where I think she made the most sense, in my opinion, and I want to actually read it verbatim. And it says, and maybe I'll put it on the screen for you guys if I have time, but it says, to be taken seriously in esports, whatever your sex, you need to practice as much as your peers, dedicating as much time as they do to getting better. And then she says, behind that, I think that sentence makes perfect sense. She says, behind that, but for women, there's another hurdle to get over, the evident
The,
gender bias. You have to brush off the online berating and pressure that comes from being a rare female in a male dominated industry and competitive environment. Manage that, and you too can play some Call of Duty, but it's inevitable that many women are put off long before they reach that point. And yes, when you're a girl, in a lobby. I've played with girls on Modern Warfare 3. There was two girls that I used to play with a lot with my friend Ocho, and there was these two girls, and people would say a lot of obscene things. They would say a lot of stuff, and yes, it was because they were females. But here's the funny thing: go watch the video with Epsilon, the American version, playing against Envy, and see what those guys called each other. It's a community of, I mean, and it's not good. I'm not saying this is necessarily like how we should keep things, but we've had a history as a community of having some, there's some competition that takes place, and when you win, you hit your chest, you scream out, you say, look at my bank account, and all that kind of stuff. And we have a community that's of animosity. And if you're a girl, then instead of saying, look at my bank account, or you're chubby, or you're overweight, or whatever it is, you're going to say something about the fact that they're a girl. Is that acceptable? No. There are some rules that we may have to make sure that we keep things in line. When the first female NBA ref came in, there was, of course, that little bit of the men thinking that because she's a woman she couldn't do the job, but she did the job well enough to where she's gained the respect. And so I think it's the same for these women. Is like, if you play the game well, you will be taken seriously. There is I don't care what you are. If you get in a game and you win consistently and you do well consistently, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, you will be taken
right.
seriously by pros. There's a clear opportunity that would never be a closed door. This isn't a closed door. It's not like we're not going to let females come into the scene. I think the most sense she made in this entire article is to be taken seriously in esports, whatever your sex, you need to practice as much as your peers, dedicating as much time as they do to getting better. Yes, as a woman, when you get online to play pubs, you're going to have to deal with people calling you this and calling you that when they hear your female voice, because there's a lot of immature 15-year-old and 12-year-old boys that play Call of Duty. And especially if you're beating them, they're going, I mean, I've been in Optic Midnight's stream when she was abused, and she thinks it's funny
Oh,
at
of
this point.
course.
You know, she's like, haha, yeah, because they tell her to do ridiculous stuff as a woman. And I think that, is it acceptable? No. Does it need to change those things in our community? Of course. If Killa stood up and yelled, you know, you're a B, or something like that at a female, I'm pretty sure someone would be like, yo, bro, not, you can't do that. Like, chill out. I'm pretty sure one of his teammates might even say that. Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes if you're being treated unfairly, you do have to force your way into something, and make sure you have a voice. And maybe this will shine a light on the necessity for those people who haven't been taking them seriously. But again, if you play well, if you do well, everybody will take you seriously. It doesn't matter what you're. It's like in the movie Forrest Gump. Forrest was crazy. He was silly. He had mental problems. But when people realized he could run a football without getting tackled, it was like, okay, let's use him, and tell him to stop, and we'll just keep using Forrest because he has recognizable skill. So he got to go to college and then went into the military, and I think opportunities are there when you make room for them by doing well.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. That's I guess what Soldier said. Do you
Yeah,
have
the
any
last
closing
thing I want to
remarks?
talk about is that she does the same thing that we've been dealing with as an entire community over the past couple of weeks, which she compares the success of girls in our esports to the success of girls in Dota and the success of girls in CS:GO and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like, and she even said, well, like Halo, Dead or Alive. I don't know. Yeah.
She said Halo. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it just deals with the same thing. It's not even close to the same amount of people that play.
Yeah.
Like the amount of people that are pro
Yep.
players in Call of Duty, like
Yeah.
our skill level compared to the skill level in CS:GO is insane. So of course there's going to be more girls because there's more people and there's more dedicated girls. Like if we
Yeah.
had four dream crazies that could all team with each other, then we'd have a really solid girls squad. It's just like, but we
Yeah.
don't have that. We don't have we have few and far between girls that are dedicated to this. It's very obvious she's
Feel
not a
like,
part of it. She's not a part of our
yeah.
community. So it's
Yeah. It sounds like it's an
exactly that's
outside
like
in.
if somebody wrote this article from inside the community, it would have more like we
That said, I've had
exactly
this
like. But this
experience.
is
Yeah.
just it's just I can't even understand it really.
All right, guys. So I'll put a link to the article in the description of this video and probably in the comment sections. Thank you, Hitch, for coming on. This is your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace.
Peace.